Player 222 came back from the dead in Squid Game Season 3, but was it a mistake to replace Jun-Hee with the brand newborn baby? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. Right, we've finished Squid Game Season 3. The reviews should all be up on the channel, or at least most of them should. The rest will be up in the next 24 hours, so make sure you're checking out our 6-episode reviews. And we've got a lot of theory fids coming over the next couple of days, and then we'll end it with a big massive ranking every character video, because who does not like a tier list? Who does not love a tier list? So we'll get every single person, every single number. I don't know how we're going to remember all the names, but we'll try our best. We'll put them on one big tier list and we'll rank our way. But before we do that, it's time to talk about Player 222, not the Jun-Hee version, but the new baby version. Was it a mistake adding this newborn baby as Player 222 in Squid Game Season 3? Now, obviously, Jun-Hee dies. The VIPs decide, well, you know what? Since that's her baby and the baby made it across, it would be wrong to eliminate it. So therefore, we're going to keep the baby in the game, and the baby's now Player 222. I just don't think this makes any fucking sense at all. For me, the baby was never a player. Therefore, how can you eliminate the baby? And I don't think you can add the baby either, because it's not agreeing, and they've made it clear throughout the entire 3 seasons, we want to be fair. You know, your decision is important. We're not forcing you to do anything. Everyone's here from their own free will. I mean, this baby certainly wasn't here from its own free will. This baby didn't press the circle button to continue playing games. This baby doesn't know shit. They even say before the next game starts, oh, the baby's not able to vote. The baby's not able to do shit. I thought it was dumb. Made no sense. And just because, see, if they didn't let the baby continue, they didn't have to kill it. They could have simply, you know, took it with them when the game ended and gave it up for adoption or something like that. I think it's mental that this baby was even added to the games. And I'll talk more in depth about why, but just the initial dilemma, oh, should it have been added or should it have been eliminated? I just think the baby should have been confiscated.
Yeah, it should have. It is ridiculous that it went ahead with this, man. Honestly, like, let's forget about the effects it had down the road. The baby, for the sake of the games, the baby shouldn't be in it. I do believe it's unfair on the other participants. It's like, well, why is this baby getting added as a participant when these guys have already jumped through like 4 or 5 games? B, it's a fucking baby. It literally has to rely on someone else to win, right? And C, it's just a load of shite. It's retarded.
Great in-depth analysis. It's just a load of... But no, again, another thing that didn't make sense to me is Jun-Hee or Ji-Eun. Why did they not approach a guard before the next game? Like, what's the situation here? What are we doing with the baby? Like, some people can say, well, Jun-Hee wouldn't want to be separated for her baby, but did she really want to take her baby into a deadly game?
Yeah, I know. It's almost like you'd rather it be confiscated.
Yeah, so you can say, oh no, she wouldn't want to be separated from the baby. I mean, and then look at when they got to the VIP, right? I mean, one of the guards comes in and he's actually taking care of it and feeding it. So why couldn't that have just been the case while the games were going on?
And also, see another thing, does she look like she was heavily pregnant?
No. Well, she had a CGI baby, so maybe that's why it wasn't pregnant.
No, but I mean, honestly, she looked like... I mean, I can't really recall a million shots of her, right? But she looked at most like 3 to 4 months.
Well, that doesn't really bother me. What bothers me is the fact that they added the baby to the game. I thought it was cruel. I thought it made no sense.
Well, it kind of bothers me, though.
It was completely unfair, and it goes against everything that the frontman or the game master, In-Ho, claims that these games are. We're not giving anyone an advantage. No one's like more. You're all getting the fair treatment. This baby, it's impossible for this baby to get fair treatment. It's been forced into a game and it's not even getting a vote. Doesn't make any sense. And I get it, Jun-Hee doesn't want to be separated for her baby, but I refuse to believe that she wouldn't be at least willing to listen to an alternative rather than here, it's time for you to take your baby physically into this next potential deadly game.
Yeah, I just don't understand it, man. Honestly, I don't know what the writers were thinking when they came up with this. It's like I've said though, she never looked heavily pregnant, but the way they filmed season 2 and season 3 back to back, it's not, I don't think there was a case of here. Fuck, we film season 2, we need to make sure she gives birth at the start of season.
I think you're complete. I mean, is that the hill you're going to die on? But she didn't look heavily pregnant.
Yeah, but I think there's evidence that points towards that this was like a change on the fly. I'm not convinced at the beginning of season 2 that they had this ending in sight.
It was pretty much shot at the same time. I mean, it was just split into 2 seasons.
Yeah, no, I know it was split.
It's not like they've went and waited a year. You know what I mean? It was like literally shot at the same time and just been split into 2 separate parts.
See to sway the 28%, or it made things more interesting. Look at High Squid, or what is it? Sky Squid.
Well, let's get into that.
No, that alone, that's case closed.
Right, 36 votes, right? So 72% are saying yes, it ruined the games. 28% are saying no, it made things more interesting. How did it make things more interesting? It literally made whoever was carrying the baby, and in this case it happened to be Jun-Hee through the last 2 games, it made him a liability. It took away any sort of physical contact that he could have. See in the fight, like see it when you look at like the first bridge. See instead of him actually being able to defend himself, he wasn't able to do anything because he was literally carrying this baby around, and it like isolate. It made it him like it took him away from the game in my opinion. It like isolated him and made him defunct almost. It ruined the game for me.
And also another thing, this guy right goes into the games at the start of season 2 with the objective of trying to keep as many people alive as possible. But then by the end, he's like, "Fuck it! The only thing I care about is this baby." Even in the whole the skipping rope game, all he really cared about was her surviving / the baby. I just don't. It ruined Jun, as you said, with the whole physical aspect of it, and the game. The final game for me was always destined to fail, but it failed 100 times worse because of the baby, man. I will never forget number 100 in the job squad talking about lunch boxes and fucking wrapping their jackets together just to try and get Jun separated for this kid. It was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I think for the writing team, it didn't. I added nothing for me.
I don't think the baby ruined the skipping rope game. I don't think it ruined that. But for me, that last one, I mean, that is the last hurrah. That is the last game of this franchise, of the Korean show, and the baby killed. And also another thing, right? A lot of money. Netflix is behind this, right? Why is it a CGI baby? I know there's bigger fish to fry, but by God, why is it not a real baby?
I mean, I get it. They want Jun to make the sacrifice and whatnot, but I think there's a better way he could. I think he could have done it. I think there's a better way he could have made the sacrifice or whatnot. Or, I mean, he could just survive and protect the baby that way. I don't know. It just didn't make much sense to me. Or maybe he could have just kept the mother alive for the entire thing and then sacrificed his life for her. I personally think that would have been a better, because she was injured anyway. I think instead of him carrying the baby around for the last 2 games, I just think him helping her to get across and skipping rope, and then maybe sacrificing. But see the way the last game played out. Are you telling me that couldn't have played out the same way, but you just replaced the baby with Jun-Hee? I think that would have worked out better. And then at the end, you've basically got Coin Man saying, right, you stay there, and Jun-Hee comes over because he's going to sacrifice his girlfriend. I think that would have made better. I think it would have been much better if it played out similar, albeit without Mr. 100 and those other losers talking about lunchboxes and knots and ties and shirts and we draw lots, I got the pack lunch. No, instead of all that shit.
I think Coin Man killing his baby is a step too far.
Yeah, but do you think it would have worked better if it was his girlfriend?
Yes.
Because she wanted the money for the baby and he kind of wanted the money to pay off his debts. I think that the whole structure could have been the same, but the baby gets taken out of the equation, and instead of Jun carrying the baby across and skipping rope, he carries, I don't know how he'd do it, but he carries Jun-Hee across, and then I think instead of Jun saving and protecting the baby in Sky Squid, I think he could have did the same with her. And you could do the exact same thing where a Coin Man falls off after trying to kill Jun, and then maybe at the end Jun realises, here, you've got your babies out there waiting for you, you need to win this, I don't, and he could have sacrificed himself for Jun-Hee. They could have. I'm not saying that's exactly how I would have played it out, but I just think that you could have simply made this one change, and maybe instead of having the baby take the focal point in the last two games, it could have been Jun-Hee. And it wouldn't really have changed. You would have got the same outcome, really. You would have still got Jun-Hee sacrificing himself for a mother/child, which I think could have worked, and I think it would have been better.
No, I agree, and I just don't...
Because she could have still did more in the last two games despite being injured.
Just don't understand Coin Man, because, throughout the two seasons, he's like, oh, I'm going to help you. He was giving her, oh, look, I've got extra food I can give you. I'll help you. I'll do this. We can get outside. We'll care for it. We'll get back together. And then, the ending visual of him's like wanting to fucking fling it off the edge so he can take all the money for himself.
Yeah, well, let's see your guys' comments, see what you're saying. Case Young says, because of her, my Ji-hun died.
My Ji-hun.
Dead Espinola said, the people who voted yes are like player 100 and the crew. Yes, it ruined the game. No, we're not. We're saying it's. If anything, I'm saying not only did I think it ruined the show, as in like the TV series and the writing and the plot, it was literally unfair on the baby to include it in the games. It should never have been a player.
Yeah, but
it was a monstrous thing to do. But you're supposed to believe that Ian Ho's got a little bit of shred of. Even though he's like willing to watch all these people die, you're supposed to believe he's got like some form of integrity.
Decency about him.
Where's the integrity of him allowing this baby to play? And let's say Ji-hun never made it onto the last platform, he would have allowed Coin Man to chuck this baby. Where's the integrity and the decency there?
Nowhere to be seen. But again, it's the integrity of the games as well. Like, why does someone get to join halfway through?
Yep, agreed. Shed says, how if the baby wasn't a player, its life wouldn't be at risk? Absolutely. Dead Espinosa says, I read the post as the writers adding the baby to the show, but that's what I've been seeing a lot of people mad that everybody died for the baby. I think it's every way you can imagine it was wrong. I can't think of a way where I go, oh, it was good. I think adding the baby to the wrong... I think it's wrong from the writing aspect. I think it's wrong from the game master aspect. I think it's wrong for everything. And then Push Pack Mihirasha said, it's not about the baby, it's about how the baby affected the show, especially Ji-hun. That's what frustrates people, including me. And I agree with that. I mean, the last game, the baby literally made Ji-hun ineffective because he couldn't do anything. He was hampered.
Yeah, and it ruined the last game from every aspect. Essentially,
baby can't fight back.
Essentially, this baby got added because one of the VIPs wanted his bet to run. That's why.
Yeah, and I think that's wrong. I think that, yeah, I don't know, I just think it's wrong.
And you're right, if the front man had any fucking form of decency, he'd have been like, yeah, use the VIPs, but what the fuck, man?
But do you not think that they could have played out the kind of same story and the same kind of sacrifice for Ji-hun by using the actual player 222?
Yeah, of course they could.
And I think that would have been better because, yeah, even though she was injured, you feel like she could have contributed or helped a little bit in the Sky Squid. What can the baby do? Just sit there at the edge of the... I mean, come on.
No, it's ridiculous, man. Honestly, it ruined it. It ruined it. I can't believe when I said in the review.
But everything as well. Like Coin Master, instead of asking Ji-hun to give over the baby, he could have says, give over Mi-hun, and then he's talking about, did you know her from the outside? We could have seen an accusation with her actually there, where maybe Coin Master's going crazy and he thinks, oh, you two had an affair or something. I just think that if you switch the actual player 222 with the baby, you could have had the show play out pretty much the same, and it would have just made for a better final game.
Yeah, at least if it was a hint towards like it's no his kid or something, then maybe him flinging it off the edge is a bit justified or something. But honestly, him killing the kid, it just makes no sense. You pointed out in one of the reviews, that coin guy just butchered his fucking character.
Yeah, 1 minute you're like, oh, he's a little bit shady and stuff, but I mean, he's good at heart. He's trying to do the right thing. And the next minute he's fucking going to throw his baby off to win his money.
So it was a weird season because I feel like the earlier you get killed off, the more your character was fucking protected.
Yeah, true, aye.
Because I just couldn't imagine how the final game would have played out if we'd seen like the mother and son, the voodoo lady, the transgender.
Day-hole.
How does it play out with all them getting to this final game and the baby?
We don't know.
It's like the old woman. She could have helped massively.
True. And also, like, I just wonder how would the final game have played it if it was more like a battle royal, and you literally had people fighting, trying to push each other, and instead of this group of six just clumped together. Oh, we need to push him off and draw lots and get a packed lunch. A load of shite.
We could push 4, 5, 6 and the baby off, but what about the junkie? Oh,
Yeah.
I've never. It's comically bad. It's like someone's created a parody of Squid Game and dragged the arse out it.
Yeah. Bad guys. Anyway, that is it. Any final thoughts?
It ruined it. Now, again, this is my closing thought. It ruined it completely, but take the baby out, I still think it would have sucked big time.
I think it would have been better though.
Would have been better, but seeing the Sky Squid, I still think you get similar problems with the group of six.
True, but I guess if Jun-Hee's there, then Coinman isn't in that group of six, is he?
Well, he might be. It was his fucking kid, and he still jobbed at it.
Yeah, but none of them knew. No one was judging him.
True, but
I guess if it's her, she's like, here, why are you siding with them to kill me? Kind of deal.
it would have made it a bit more interesting, but here, 6 retards or 5 retards discussing what they're going to do with 3 or 4 doesn't really do anything for me.
I think we should have just got Ji-hun about to, sacrifice himself. Then the next minute, Jun-Ho rocks up, starts shooting the guards that are on the balcony.
Ji-hun, get out of here, take the baby. And then fucking him and his brother have a wee fight. Dun, dun, dun. Under Siege 2 music blasting.
Alright, something like that, I don't know.
Assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. Something good like a wee great line like that. The pepper spray doesn't work on the front, man.
Yeah, like you were on about, could they not have had a battle on the top of the skyscraper, whatever they call it, the pillar? It's like, could you maybe not have had Ji-hun refusing to throw the baby off, and then maybe In-ho goes up the elevator and he's on top and he's like, right, well, you got to decide now, it's one or the other, and he's got them at gunpoint, and then maybe Jun-Ho rocks up in the balcony, shoots the guards, and then maybe makes a leap for the balcony onto the top of the pillar thing, so it's the 4 of them. Then he holds his brother at gunpoint and tells Ji-hun to get out of there with the baby, and then Ji-hun takes the elevator down, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe Jun-Ho chucks his gun away and we have a fist fight.
Aye, something.
Like a one-on-one, a last battle stand.
No, they missed a trick with that, man. They did. I'm telling you. See the core.
It's like they wanted to give you the worst fucking ending for every little. It was
arc.
Like
the people that got the best one was 246 in the North Korea moment, and that was the 2 people I couldn't give a fuck about.
Yep. Absolutely. Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts down below. More Squid Game theories coming soon. Until next time, peace.